Welcome to the F1 Push Lap. I'm Jermaine, everything Formula One. Race week, Bahrain, let's go. Breaking news coming out of the FIA, the governing body for motorsport. The deputy president, Robert Reid, has stepped down, has resigned. Now, this does not speak well for the president, the current president, Mohammed bin Sulayem. For your deputy to leave, that says a lot. And his words, his exiting words, really paint a picture of what's going on at the FIA. There's been a series of high, profile people leaving the FIA. This is the governing body for motorsport. So if you love motorsport like I love motorsport, you want to see stability at the top. You want your referees, you want that to be stable. You want that world and that environment to be pretty stable. Robert Reid leaves a big hole, and I think this is what Mohammed bin Sulayem, the president of the FIA, is probably looking forward to. Let's be real. The more pushback he gets, and the more of those the more of the people that don't believe in his way walk away, the stronger his leverage becomes, right? So Robert Reid leaving is probably not the best thing for Formula One, for motorsports overall. It looks like it's a dictatorship more than anything over there at the FIA. This has been long coming. Robert Reid's statements tells a lot. In particular, one part of his statement that really rings out to me is, I quote, "Stepping away was not easy. However, staying would have meant compromising what I believe in. That is about principle, not politics." Now, when somebody puts it out there that they're leaving based on principle, and I'm a person that's based on principle, it goes a long way. So, to me, that says, and we've seen some of the things over the time that Mohammed bin Sulayem has been the president of the FIA. We've seen some of the things that he's done across the board. We can start with the Susie Wolf incident. We can start with, and that incident is still ongoing. I do believe that's still in litigation, still in court, because she hasn't let that go. The incident of him setting a value of Formula One, telling his friends that, the number that Formula One gave you may be inflated. It's probably not worth as much as what they say, and him publicly coming out saying that. And there's reasons behind that. People will tell you there's reasons behind him saying that. He has friends in the Middle East that want to get their hands on Formula One as a whole. But hey, whatever, that's a whole nother topic. But when it comes down to it, it doesn't look favorable coming out of his side. So when I look at what's going on over the fence, outside looking in, I'm a fan. I put the pressure on Formula One. At this point, the sport that I've watched my entire life, it doesn't feel like the same level of moral and ethical care to present us with racing that we want is there. It doesn't look like the top brass at Formula One management seems I get that they're in a very tough position, so I shouldn't, in my opinion, take too harsh a stab at Formula One management. But when you look at how this has played out over the last couple of years, Mohammed bin Sulayem was voted in in 2021, so after Abu Dhabi 21. So he's been in the role for 3 years. And it's just been escalating issues after issues. If you were on the inside looking out at the FIA, and you are proud of what you saw, and you're proud of what you see over his term, I would have to question your integrity. I would. That's just my opinion, though, because as a fan of fair and honest racing, as a racer, that's what they want to see. That's what racers want. And that's what, as a fan, I want. Put me in a cart. Let's all just do it fair, right? So Mohammed Ben Sulayem doesn't play by those rules, and it's clear that he doesn't play by those rules. To me, this is just an avenue where FOM can take it to the FIA and put pressure on the FIA to do the right thing. The election's coming up. They're voting in a new president. There's rumors that there's somebody in the waiting wings, waiting to see how this plays out. Andrew Benson wrote something on it, but nobody wants to say who. I saw the video. I saw the races video, and the look on Ed Straw's face said a lot to me about people, potential candidates, let's just say. And it was a good video, but the look on his face lets me think that people out there know that somebody is just potentially, or people, or whosoever, there's something in the wings. So for me, I'm waiting to see somebody do the right thing ethically at the FIA, at Formula One. I've been watching this thing for too long, and for me to give up on the sport that I love watching, you got to be crazy. I couldn't do that just to watch these guys, and I understand it's all about money. Follow the money, right? So, Stefano, if you're here for the quality of the product, then you have to do something about what's coming out of the FIA. And as a fan, this is what we want. We want something done about the FIA, and we want something done about the FIA as soon as possible now. We understand that the vote is coming, and we understand that the members club of the FIA is how you get elected. I understand that if you're not aware, but that's how, as a president of the FIA, that's how you get voted in. Well, that is a complexity all in its own. And we'll dive into that into the upcoming weeks, I'm sure, because I'm sure there'll be more coming out of the FIA. But yes, let's get into it. It's race week, Bahrain. Max takes an incredible, boring Japanese Grand Prix, but his pole lap in qualifying was something of the ages. Max, I will never, ever, ever count you out. I never do. You're unbelievable. And showed it again. Yuki struggled a little bit race day, but you can see some promise. He showed some pace. So I'm excited to see what Red Bull's going to bring to the table, just because it's Bahrain, and we've seen what they did in testing, because they weren't showing the greatest in testing, and McLaren on top of things in testing. So we'll see. It's been a while since testing. Also, my driver of the year so far is Kimi Antonelli. This kid has blown me away. I'm super impressed. Really excited to see what Mercedes has going on here. A few weeks out of testing, coming back to Bahrain, hooking it up with Russell and Antonelli, seeing that Mercedes a little bit more stable than it's been over the last couple of years. That makes me happy, just to know that Antonelli could be in a potentially good situation moving forward in his career, right? So for me, that's super exciting to see. I'm a big believer in this kid. This kid is fast. I watched a lot of this kid's onboard over the Japanese Grand Prix. This kid is quick. So can't wait to see what he does here in Bahrain, because he's had lots of time, lots of lots of miles here over testing and now the race. So we're gonna see what's up with Antonelli over the weekend. McLaren's gonna look good, obviously. People are still touting Norris's long run from testing. So really, if they show that kind of pace, you got to believe that McLaren's going to be running away out front. But you can never count out Max because the Max factor is real. What will Ferrari do? We know they're bringing a floor to Lewis's car in FP1. They're going to compare it to Leclerc's car. I think the Rook, Dino, is driving it. So they're just going to compare and see what data says and go from there. They got an uphill battle. Let's be honest. Ferrari has an uphill battle. But I said it before. It's going to be until race 9, after the Spanish Grand Prix, after the TD comes into effect. Glad to be here. Glad that you're here. Subscribe if you like. Please hit the smash button if you do. I would greatly appreciate it. More to come. There's going to be post-analysis of this weekend. Let's get it. Bahrain, F1 push lap. Let's go.